The defender is coming into tonight's play with the best record in the NEBL season after 6 games with a 5-1 record. And what? Because of the fact that Coach Matthew Smiling and Coach Darwin Popolesky have done something differently when it comes to this defenders team, bringing Farron Lariano off the bench. A move that, I don't know how long Coach Matthew Smiling might have courted Farron Lariano to get him to come off the bench, but it shows that Farron Lariano, he's a team player when he accepted the challenge and he said, you know what, I'm coming off the bench. And not only that, he is the captain of the team.
Yeah, Farron Lariano is one of the most humble players that you're going to meet. He is the all-time leading scorer in NEBL history, a 2-time MVP, but he will do whatever it takes to make sure that this team gets to the promised land. And he's scoring 8.7 points per contest, coming off the bench, averaging 4 rebounds per contest, and still shooting at a pretty good 51.2% from the field. So he's definitely making the most of his time, coming off the bench, providing defense that is much needed to the second unit. So he's doing a very good job.
Now, a role reversal for this next player that we will be talking about. Last year, he came off the bench for the defenders. With the new head coach, he is now in the starting unit. And, he's not scoring. That is not his forte. And we are talking about Shaquille Crawford. He got hurt last week, so we are not sure if he'll be in this game tonight. But the role that he has been playing so far for the defenders in the starting lineup, his defense is what Coach Matthew Smiling wanted from him, and that is exactly what he's getting from Shaquille Crawford.
He's not scoring a lot, but he's not turning the ball over. Definitely a very impressive 0.8 turnovers per contest. That is less than 1. Yes, he's only scoring 4.5 points per contest, but coming off the bench in that first game, which is this game that we're seeing, the defenders were a totally different team on defense. Inserting him into the lineup, they brought that toughness, that defensive intensity that you need from Shaquille Crawford, and it has made a world of a difference for this team in their 5-game winning streak, which has been plus 86. They have outscored their last 5 opponents by plus 86, which averages out to a little under 18 points per contest. They have been destroying teams in the last 5 games.
Now, we talk about the coaching staff for the defenders, Coach Matthew Smiling, assistant coach Darwin Popolesky. But we are forgetting Coach Troy Gabb and the job that he has done so far. This is his 2nd season with the Rebels. I think it's a season and a half because he took over like midway through the 2019 season. And what he has done with this team so far in the 2020 season, he has proven himself that he's one of the elite coaches in the NEBL, and I already have him up for Coach of the Year, and it's this early.
Yeah, in the 2019 season, letting go Coach Troy Gabb was definitely a mistake for the defenders. They had to make multiple coaching changes within that season, and that definitely affected their season, coming off a sub-championship season in 2018. So they felt that the coach was the problem. Turned out to be that it wasn't really their coach, but now they get a veteran coach in Matthew Smiling, and they have turned out quite well. But every time, I am telling you that Troy Gabb circles this game, or the 2 games that they play the defenders, to send a message to them that they made a mistake letting him go, and he is definitely if he doesn't win any other game, he wants this one here tonight.
And we must give credit also to his assistant Chris McGann, who is right there shoulder to shoulder with Coach Troy Gabb, having this team points, having them believing now that we can win, we can make it to the Final Four, and when we get there, we can go to the big dance.
Yes, Chris McGann, I've known Chris McGann for over 20 years. Definitely a bright mind, definitely somebody that will know how to prepare his team. a very cerebral guy, and he is a former basketball player in his own right from Belmont Comprehensive School. So definitely is someone that has experience and a good person on the coaching staff.
As we are getting set for the playing of the national anthem of Belize. And there you have it, the playing of the national anthem of Belize, and we are just minutes away from tip-off. Monster matchup in this NEBL game tonight. Defenders at home, Orange Walk Running Rebels on the road. Let's take a look at the officials for tonight's game. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Orange Walk Running Rebels. Tonight, Rebels will be going with Brian White, Roger Reno, their captain, number 8, Isaiah Thomas, number 13, Dajuan Cooper, and number 32, Tyree Orozco, Coach Troy Gabb Jr. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the home team defenders, and they will go with Luda Page tonight, Michael Zull at the guard, Devin Daly at the 2, Gregory Rodon getting the start tonight in place of Shaquille Crawford, and number 55, Nigel Jones, head coach Matthew Smiling. Now let's take a look at the officials for tonight's game. Tonight's crew chief Dwight Kittle, umpire 1, Ruben Oliva, and umpire 2, Marvin Garcia. So we're just about minutes or so from tip-off, and
yeah, Brian White You know, we talk about this three-headed monster that the defenders have. All three of these players, Lusa Page, Devin Daly, and Nigel Jones, are MVP candidates in my opinion. Definitely in the first quarter of the season as we head now to the first half of the season. But this Brian White, he needs to be included in that conversation. 14.5 points per contest, 12.3 rebounds, 2.3 assists. As I said, he's the best forward in the game in terms of starting a fast break, and he himself, you know, is pretty fast. You know, he somehow slips past defenders all the time and get easy buckets. He just shows his hustle. He shows the intensity that this Rebels team brings because of Brian White, and I definitely would want to put him in the top 5 for in the MVP conversation.
Now, when we look ahead, let's take a look ahead at the upcoming schedule for next weekend. We see that the defenders, they will be, just let me get it right here. The Riga will be going up against the Belize Hurricanes. Riga will be going up against Verdes, that's next week at the Russell Chisa Garcia Auditorium. The Belize Hurricanes will be going up against the Belmopan Bandits. And the Punta Gorda Panthers will be going up against Orange Walk, and so that means that the defenders will be having that weekend off.
Yes, it's always good to get a bye during the midpoint of the season. You don't want it too early because you don't want, you know, to get fatigued playing all these games, especially going into a best-of-3 series in the playoffs and a best-of-5 in the finals if you make it that far. So a mid-season break is definitely a good time to get a bye if you're the defenders. Heal those wounds, rest up, and then get some quality practice time, get game plan, and then you get ready for the stretch run of the season moving forward.
What do you think the energy level would be right now for Brian White coming back home? Also, Tyree Roscoe coming back to the Civic Center where they played the 2019 NEBL season, because I know that these guys, they're anxious. They looked at the schedule and said, yeah, you know, they were looking forward to this game tonight. But I'm wondering, like, you know, what would you think their energy level would be like early in this ball game?
You know, for the Rebels, you're going from losing culture to winning culture overnight. But when you bring a guy that has been there, done that, winning championships, one of them against these defenders, he has to bring that leadership and that confidence to tell these guys, I've beaten them before, and I can definitely do it again on a team that probably is as talented as that Hurricanes team that last won the championship against these defenders.
Very good, very good. As both teams here in the huddle now getting their final instruction from their coaching staff as to how they want them to approach this game tonight. And like I got to mention that this game is going to be a very, very good game. But we have one more game that is on the schedule tonight, being played in the capital city at the Hilltop Basketball Court, where the defending champion, the San Pedro Tiger Sharks, will be going up against the Belmopan Bandits later on tonight.
Every time a game gets played at Hilltop, you want to favor the Belmopan Bandits, and I really felt that they let one slip away against the Belize Hurricanes last week. But as I said, the Hurricanes are trending up in their power rankings. I have them at number 5 right now, with their latest addition of Shoes, number 11. They call him the Manimal. So definitely, you know, the Hurricanes came in as a team that seemed vulnerable to lose to the Bandits, but they definitely took care of things on the road. But the Hurricanes, you know, the Tiger Sharks can definitely find themselves in a track meet on that court at Hilltop. And then if the Bandits can somehow get a lead that they can try to hold on to as the game progresses, we could see an upset by the Bandits tonight. But of course, Tiger Sharks, they just know how to get things done, whether it's at home or whether it's on the road. So it could be business as usual as well, but don't be surprised if we see another good matchup at the Hilltop Sporting Complex here tonight on channel 119.
And tomorrow night it will be Verdes hosting the Punta Gorda Panthers inside the Sacred Heart Auditorium. And I just want to remind you again, the game is scheduled for a 7 p.m. start. So don't forget the start time, 7 p.m. So be out there, gates open from 5:30 for you to purchase your ticket. And also on tomorrow, Griega Dream Ballers will be hosting the Belize Hurricanes at the Russell T. Slade Garcia Auditorium. Griega will be looking for a much needed win, as well as the Panthers will be looking for a much needed win.
The story of the Panthers is this. Very good starting five. You're going to see them get a lead, and then they fade away in the ball game. That has been their story. Can they fix that trend? Can they do something about that trend moving forward? I'm not sure. So definitely I would give it Verdes late in that ball game, and of course the trending team upwards in the NEBL is the Belize Hurricanes. I have them as victors on the road tomorrow night as well.
Both teams, starting five on the court. We're getting ready for a tip-off.
Luther Page versus Dajuan Cooper. And the Rebels win the opening tip-off. Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas defended there by Zul. As you said, this matchup between Zul and Isaiah Thomas is going to be very interesting. First shot, first make for the Rebels, 2-0. And that is number 13, Dajuan Cooper.
Dajuan Cooper with a wide open look, and he nailed the J to take a 2-0 lead early in the first quarter.
Interesting change in the lineup. We see Greg, the fearless one, Rodon, in the starting lineup as the defenders answer on the other end.
Dajuan Cooper night will be filled, his hands will be filled, trying to stop Nigel Jones. That time Nigel Jones escaping, getting wide open in the paint, received the pass from Michael Zul, and he tied the ball game up at 2 points apiece.
What makes the defenders so remarkable is that they don't just have bigs, they have bigs that can run like they're 6'1", 6'2" guards. These young men can run up the floor. So that is definitely something to watch out for, especially if the Rebels turn the ball over. As you see the defenders swinging the ball around the three-point line. Chippy for three, no good. And there is the first call of the evening.
And the fearless one yet to get in a rhythm from behind the three-point arch. But tonight he has been inserted into the starting lineup. He'll be getting more playing time, so we will see if this will help Gregory Rodon in the 2020 season, you know, by getting the start and getting more touches, getting more look, and taking more shots.
As you pointed out silently a bit, you saw Leroy Young being added on to the coaching staff for the Rebels. Definitely a ton of knowledge there from the semi-pro days, I believe, with the Coromandel Raiders. As you see, Raja Reno, 16.5 points per contest. Definitely, sorry, that is incorrect. That is 17.5 points per contest for Raja Reno. Definitely one of the best pure scorers that we have in the league. Turnover, 4-2 Rebels, ball back to the Rebels. Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas defended there by Zul. Here comes Raja Reno. Step back three. No good. And it's picked up by Nigel Jones. And you always have to look out for Nigel Jones off a rebound. He has the ball handling skills to pick up the pace and take it himself. Chippy for three. Good closeout defense there by Brian White. Turnover. Here come the running Rebels. Pass. What a beautiful pass. Just out the arms of Tyree Orozco. Yeah, Orozco was expecting that to be finished by Isaiah Thomas, but we see the unselfish play of Thomas, normally known to take it himself.
Ball went off Michael Zoe.
Brian White. Tyree Orozco. Tyree Orozco being physical there with Luther Page. He draws a foul and will go to the line for 2 free throws.
First foul on Luther Page here in the first quarter. That time Tyree Orozco taking the ball in the very deep in the paint against Luther Page. Didn't get the basket to go, but shooting 2. First free throw up, and it's no good. And for you to beat the defenders team, you gotta make your free throws.
Yeah. Today at the Russell Chise Auditorium, the kids in primary school were playing, and definitely free throws was a factor in that contest. Still have yet to get the official results, and we hopefully could get that by the end of the broadcast. Zul gets it to the Daily Show. Defended there by Isaiah Thomas. Gets it inside. Good ball movement. Chippy. No good. And that's, I believe, his third 3-point attempt. Here come the running Rebels. Tyree Orozco. Dangerous bounce pass. And it's off of, I believe it's Luther Page. And ball will remain with the Orange Walk running Rebels. Look at the size of these gentlemen. Isaiah Thomas up top, Tyree Orozco. He splits the defense, turns it over. Here come the defenders. Daily Show, finger roll, and it's now a 1-point game as the defenders cut into the 5-4 lead.
Second turnover in the quarter by Orange Walk. They need to take care of the basketball.
A pass by Roger Renault, and the putback is no good. A foul is called. Is it a loose ball foul? It will be called on.
The foul is called on Devin Daly.
Okay, so it's on the defender. Looking at the body language of Brian White, I guess he's just not happy with not getting the shot to go.
Dajuan Cooper, the Texan, at the free throw line for the Rebels. His first free throw is up, and it's no good. 1 out of 3 from the free throw line for the Rebels here in the first quarter.
Second free throw is also no good. Rebounded there by Nigel Jones. Nigel Jones off the rebound, taking it himself. Good to penetrate, gets Zul, but the putback is no good also. Fourth chance opportunity by the defenders. Good swing, good corner jumper, and it's good. And the defenders take the first lead of the night.
It's bad to give the defenders second chance opportunity, but it's even worse to give them third chance opportunity. That time, the Rebels paid for giving them the third chance opportunity. Michael Zoe with the J, and the defenders take a 1-point lead.
Rebels, while they give up a slight height disadvantage to the defender, they definitely have the girth and they have to box out better, pushing these slim bigs for the defenders out the paint.
6:22 to go in the first quarter. Very good defense by the defenders.
And that is what the defenders have been known to do in this 5-game winning streak. Lock down their opponents. Tyree Orozco, defended there by Devin Daly. Orozco.
What we are seeing is a lot of ball denial by the defenders, playing very tight on their opponent.
Dajuan Cooper splits the defense, is stripped there by Luther Page. Turnover. Here come the defenders.
The fourth turnover.
And the pull-up 3-point shot is no good by the Daily Show. Orange Walk running Rebels can take the lead on this possession. Scoring has definitely slowed down a bit. Good screen, but 3-point shot is no good. Wrong there by Luther Page. Here come the defenders. The speedster, Nigel Jones. He draws the foul and will go to the line for 2 free throws.
And the foul is either on Tyree Orozco or Brian White, as they were both in the vicinity of where the foul was called.
There's not a lot of bigs that can get a rebound and start a fast break of their own. Brian White is best at passing, for passing, in getting a transition started with his passing, but Nigel Jones get a transition started himself. He's the best in that category.
Nigel Jones, a 59.5% free throw shooter in the 2020 NEBL season, makes 1 out of 2.
Almost a travel. It is a travel.
5th turnover in the quarter by the Orange Walk Running Rebels.
Zola with the inbound. Good screen. Boom! What a screen out of the inbound. Good play drawn up there by the defenders. Daily Show gets the 3-point shot and draws the foul. Will go to the line for the 4-point play.
And the foul call on Tyree Orozco as he let Devin Daly escape from him. And Devin Daly from behind the 3-point arch, making good on the money ball.
We could see another replay.
Devin Daly trying to complete the 4-point play. And he's no good.
A little bit short there. Isaiah Thomas. Up top, Raja Reno. See the switch. Good switch, but Raja Reno was unable to corral that pass. Not a good pass there on a turnover by the Rebels.
Isaiah Thomas that time committing himself by leaving his feet and had no passing lane to work with. 6th turnover in the quarter by the Rebels.
Switch gets it up top to Devin Daly. Bounce pass. Good ball movement. Nigel. Boom! Wakanda's finest extends the lead to 13-5.
Nigel Jones, a 30% from behind
Turnover.
the arch.
Here come Nigel Jones. He's going to take it himself. Good pass. Inside Luther. What a block. But a foul. And DSP will go to the line for 2 free throws.
The NEBL on TNC is being brought to you by Gentrack. 4:32 remain in the quarter. And it's a Orange Walk Running Rebels timeout. The fans are filing into the Civic Center here tonight. The Civic by the river. Orange Walk already over the limit. They have committed 5 team fouls, and so the defenders will be going to the line for the next 4:34.
Opportunity for the defenders for their first double-digit lead of the night. As he said, the defenders in their 5-game winning streak has just been destroying their opponents by a little under 18 points per contest. 9-point lead now for the defenders.
Luther Page from the free throw line, shooting 46.9% as he make good on the first free throw with 1 more to go. His second free throw is up, and it's also good.
Good hustle there from Nigel Jones, and he would have been in a position to get the putback if that free throw didn't go. First double-digit lead for the defenders. Isaiah Thomas. What a move there, what a block shot, the hustle from the Wakanda man. Zul. Nigel Jones gets it up top to the Daly Show. Daly, Zul. Page, what a ball movement there by the defenders, but they couldn't convert on the shot. Here come the Rebels with a chance to cut into this lead. Roger Reno. Roger. Up top to Thomas for three. Boom! The rainbow shots by IT Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas shooting 35.7% from behind the arc. Nailed his first three ball as we have a foul. Farron Laureano have checked into the ball game for the defenders. So the defenders will be going to the free throw line. As I mentioned, Orange walk over the limit. And it will be Luther Page at the free throw line shooting 2 free throws.
See Rossi Jenkins getting ready to check into the ball game. And it's just an embarrassment of riches that these defenders, just a good all-around roster that the defenders have managed to put together in this 2020 season. So when you have Farron Laureano and Rossi Jenkins coming off the bench, that is just a little too much to handle sometimes.
Luther Page with 4 points in the first quarter to go along with 2 rebounds, while Nigel Jones have 6 points for the defenders to go along with 3 rebounds. Isaiah Thomas with 3 points to go along with 3 rebounds and 2 assists for the Rebels. Luther Page getting a breather. Rossi Jenkins on the floor. Devin Daly at the free throw line as he makes good on the first free throw. Devin Daly a 67.9% shooting from the free throw line. And the defenders as a team, they're shooting a very high percentage when it comes to free throws.
Yes. 8-point advantage for the defenders. Isaiah Thomas. Roger gets it to Johan Cooper. Immediate double team. But he draws the foul and will go to the line for 2 free throws. As you see Leon Jacobs into the ball game for the first time tonight.
The foul on Rossi Jenkins. That will be the defender's 3rd team foul.
First free throw is not good.
Dajuan Cooper having a bad free throw shooting night so far here in the first quarter.
As the Bandits and Tiger Sharks are just about ready to get on the way. I think they're going to be singing the national anthem at this moment, right after the player introduction.
Michael Zoll with the money ball for the defenders.
Roger Reno. 10-point lead again for the defenders. Screen from Brian White. Cooper. IT. Isaiah Thomas splits the defense. The IT technician, Isaiah Thomas, gets it to go.
Defenders getting the ball down the court quick.
Zoe, pull-up jumper, no good. Here come the defenders. And that is how you stop a fast break. And the tomahawk slam is good by the Daly Show.
Well telegraphed by Devin Daly, the pass from Brian White as he picked it off for their 7th turnover here in the first quarter. Rebels not taking care of the ball.
And that is how you stop a Brian White fast break. Telegraph, intercept the pass, and then score on the other end. Pass, another dangerous pass, almost a turnover. Roger Reno gets it to go. Lead is now cut to 11 points.
Sweet jump shot from the free throw line by Roger Reno that time.
Rebels get a turnover. They get a chance to cut in the lead. Boom! Leon Jacobs for 3.
Leon Jacobs shooting 50% from behind the arch.
Zoe trying to get the best play possible.
9 seconds to shoot.
Good ball movement. Baseline. Dangerous pass in there to Rossi Jenkins.
Turnover. Nigel Jones stepped on the baseline, giving the ball back to Orange Walk Running Rebels as they're putting a run here together. 5-0 run by the Rebels. Nigel Jones getting a breather. Also see Matthew Young in the ball game for Orange Walk.
Isaiah Thomas. Screen there from Matthew Young. Pick and roll defense to perfection by these defenders, smothering the opponents. Punch pass to DSP for the two-handed slam. Leon Jacobs no good there. Brian White in Brian White fashion scores, gets the offensive glass, gets the putback, draws the foul, and will go to the line for the three-point play.
Foul call on Michael Zoll, but again, Orange Walk committing their 8th turnover here in the first quarter. Not good, and I know that Troy Gabb will have something to say about it at the end of this quarter. Brian White trying to complete the three-point play, and it's no good.
And the defenders, opportunity now to extend their lead. Farthest lead of the night is 13. Tablada in. Tablada draws the foul, and he will go to the line. Second falls behind the arc for the Rebels, and that will send the defenders to the line for 3 more free throws.
Foul call on Roger Reno.
Just a foul-filled first quarter by the Rebels.
On the floor, we have for the defenders Luther Page, Michael Zoll, Devin Daly, Rossi Jenkins, and Farron Laureano. For the Rebels, we have Brian White, Isaiah Thomas, Dajuan Cooper, Matthew Young, and Leon Jacobs. Foul call on Jacobs. Not happy with the call. Brian White with 2 fouls already here in the first quarter, and on the flip side, Rossi Jenkins with 2 fouls for the defenders. .116 to go in the quarter. 8-point lead for the defenders, 25-17. And we talk about the delay so far in the 2020 season when it comes to the officials, and I had an opportunity to ask the question to the commissioner, pose a question to the commissioner, and he said that it's something that the Barbo is working on to see how the officials can get the game to flow more efficiently.
I will give them credit. I have seen improvements, but it's game to game. You know, you see some improvements one game, and then you see some setbacks another. Definitely not a good look early on in this ball game, just being the first quarter.
But I think when you entertain the coaches in this manner, giving them this amount of time, it shows that you're not sure if you made the right call, you know, so you just should flow with it, you know, rather than getting in this officiating huddle all the time and really slowing the pace of the game down, even though they get the call right.
Do referees do simulation games where they practice these things, because they need to huddle and meet faster and get the call made at a faster pace? Because the referees that come in for these FIBA matches, they also huddle, but they do it in a much faster and decisive fashion that you don't have any lack of confidence that they made their right call.
Laureano missing both free throws, and as you can see, we're still explaining to Coach Troy Gabb as to what took place, and so we now see Devin Daly shooting free throws, and so I'm trying to understand what is going on here. If Leon Jacobs did pick up a technical foul, and Daly make good on both free throws to add on to the lead here in the first quarter. And the defenders will be getting possession.
Page up top to Zoe. Here comes Zoe. Daily Show, jab step, good screen, good pass. TSP for 3, no good. Right in the hands of the Daily Show. Daily Show pull-up jumper, and it's good, and the lead is back up to 12.
Turnovers, second chance opportunities in the first quarter have this Orange Walk Running Rebels team trailing by 10 points.
And that is how you get plus 86. What a strong move there from Matthew, the jig master flex. Young, and he cuts into the lead for the Rebels. Another opportunity.
Another turnover.
Yeah. As you see Sid the Kid in the ball game for the first time tonight. And he has been very instrumental in in scoring off the bench. And let's see if he can bring that much needed spark to a very lethargic Orange Walk Running Rebels offense thus far.
10 turnovers for the Orange Walk Rebels here in the first quarter.
Rebound. Here comes Tyree Orozco. IT asking for it. Isaiah Thomas, 5 feet. Rainbow shot no good there. That is a foul, and that is almost the same fashion as how Shaquille Crawford got injured. Didn't like how Daly landed on his back just a while ago.
Devin Daly will be going to the free throw line as we take a look at it once again on the replay.
Tailbone. But very good news to see him get up and not hurt.
Devin Daly is a tough camper.
Yes.
It's going to take more than a foul to get Devin Daly out of the ball game or injured. He's at the free throw line shooting 2 free throws. His first free throw is up and it's good. Devin Daly coming into tonight's play averaging 18 points a game.
John Kelly getting ready to check back into the ball game. Daly makes the free throw.
12.2 to go as Kelly is in the game for the defenders.
Rebels have been winless on the road thus far and find themselves down by 12.
Daly going to the bench. Isaiah
Thomas for 3. Boom! The rainbow shot to end the first quarter.
As the quarter comes to an end, what we'll do, we'll go to a break. When we come back, we will have second quarter action, defenders lead. We'll be back.